What's up, everybody? This is Matt DeMarinis from White and Blue Review, bringing you another Creighton commentary. Today's episode, we've got the 2018 NCAA Tournament game between Creighton and Iowa. And on this episode, from this game, we've got former point guard Sydney Lamberty and assistant coach Linda Sayavongchanh, former Drake Bulldog, who once gamed the Blue Jays back in the day at the Civic, I think. She knows. She's flexing right now. No one's going to see you flexing. We're not using the video. Linda, Sydney, it's good to catch up with you guys. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
You guys ready to rewatch what I think is, I don't know, a lot of the players from this team have said this is one of their favorite games. Does it sit that way with you guys?
Yeah, I agree. They're just, I mean, obviously, you know, we have a close scrimmage with them every year, but, you know, me personally being from Iowa and just, you know, having those ties with Iowa and the state and just knowing their staff and familiar with their players. And, you know, sometimes we end up recruiting some of the same players. You know, I think there's some other, you know, stories we might get into later that there's just so many things connected to, you know, this game. It just made it even more fun.
Yeah. Sid, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, they're always a good team. Every time we scrimmage them every year, they're always a tough team. And I feel like there's always that competitive edge between us. So I actually watched this game before we did this, so I could have a little preview of what all happened.
Nice.
But I love this game. I mean, I feel like both teams played really well the whole time. And, like, it's a close game basically the whole game, too. So.
Yeah,
And
I think
not to mention,
it's one of my
and
favorite NCAA tournament games to watch because both teams did play pretty well. That normally doesn't happen in NCAA tournaments. Usually there's some tightness there and it doesn't, you're not always sharp and whatnot.
And not to mention, we got to go all the way to LA to play a team that was only 3 hours away. It was a pretty awesome scenario.
Yeah. I thought about asking Audrey to do this too. She just got that first bucket and she's at the line now. But I thought about asking Audrey to join this, but I think she would have been pretty pissed off at me if I asked her to watch a game.
She definitely would have been like, Matt, I sucked that game. Why would you?
Yeah,
I couldn't make a shot.
I know.
That would be
which is funny
because
she cooked UCLA, but UCLA smashed you guys. So like that wouldn't be fun to rewatch either.
I guarantee you that's what she would have said.
Yeah, for sure.
There's been injuries, players have been in and out of lineups, but nonetheless, they've maintained that standard that allows them to be here today.
Sydney, what do you guys remember about your mindset going into this one? I think they beat you guys in that closed door scrimmage earlier in the year. Do you remember going into this with like a little bit of a chip on your guys' shoulder to kind of prove that you guys were the better team when it counted?
No, for sure. And I don't know. I just feel like there was always that, not that we didn't like each other, but I always felt like there was a little bit of edge even in just the scrimmage we would do. This was just like another level. So I know all of us were like super pumped to play them, and I'm sure they were too. It's just because we always just do a scrimmage, and yeah, it's competitive, but this was like, okay, it counts now. So I remember really excited for it, and the whole team was.
What was Gustafson's averaging in this year? Was it like 30 points a game?
Yeah, she was close to like 28 points a game.
Yeah.
What was the defensive game plan? Like, how do you guys? I mean, she still had 29 and 17, so
right.
It's not like she got locked up. But what was the game plan as far as, I don't know, letting her get hers without letting anybody else kill you, maybe?
Yes, that's a very simple way to put it. You know, we talked about it a lot as a staff, and, you know, we went back and looked at box scores and games they won, games they lost, where there's some trends. And we talked as a staff, and it's like, you know, she's really good at finishing, and she loves that left block because she can just turn over her right shoulder and finish with her left hand, and she was so good at it. It's like, well, we're not gonna stop her. She's gonna score regardless. So we just knew that we had a 3-post rotation, and Bailey, Allie, and Kylie, that we could just our game plan was to be physical with her and push her out as far as we could and not let her get set up on the block, you know, sweet spot. And we just said push her out as much as possible and make her score over her weak shoulder, over her left shoulder. Turning to her left shoulder, try to use her right hand or whatever. But and we didn't give up three, and we didn't want to give threes to Meyer and Civilian. So we were like, we'll let Gustafson shoot tough twos over us. But we're not going to give up easy threes to their two shooters.
Yeah. There's a little WNBA preview there. Jalen Garden and Kathleen Doyle.
Oh, yeah.
And
there's actually 3 WNBA
players. Yeah. And Doyle and Jalen player of the years.
Yep.
It's crazy to think that Jalen was a freaking sophomore.
I know.
Like, Sydney, you're old.
I know. Don't worry.
I was like, wait, Jalen was a redshirt sophomore this year. What the heck?
Okay, I want to know what they're scouting for Creighton, because on each of the last 3 possessions, they've left Jalen open in the right corner, and they've just left Audrey open from 3 in the left corner, unguarded.
Yeah.
Well, they're just playing a zone, aren't they?
Now they switched to a zone.
Yeah.
And that didn't work out so well.
No.
Jalen was on fire.
No, Jalen cooked this team. This was the game where I was like, yeah, she's a WNBA player.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this call is so funny. This call is so funny because they call it offensive foul on Stewart, but Maya was the one that ran her over.
Ran her over.
I just did not understand this call, but it was really funny.
That's like a Creighton signature play too.
Watch this.
Get drilled on the screen. Get drilled on the screen. Hit the 3 for the 5-point play.
No, Maya was standing still. She created contact.
That's not even close to true.
I think Maya just no.
Look at Sid Tammy rocking the 2-4. I forgot that she wore that number.
Yeah. Gosh, Tammy looks so different. little baby freshman, blonde hair.
Well, you know what's crazy is like I was thinking about this maybe a couple months ago or whatever, and then I thought about it again when Jalen got drafted. But this year's squad was pretty good. When you think about that 16-17 squad that won the league, like Bree, Audrey, Sid, Marissa, you brought Jalen off the bench, like that squad was stacked.
Yeah. And I was talking to Joe about that team, and actually I was trying to compare like the defense with that 16-17 team versus our defense this year and see what was different. And defensively though, we were really good with that championship team as well.
I mean, honestly, Sid could have, Audrey could have. So like in theory, you guys had 5 pros on that team.
Look at Sid.
Do not put my name in there.
Whatever, Sid.
Audrey, yes.
You could have played.
Sid, you were pooping.
Sid, your assist to turnover ratio in college was absurd.
You know how many? I went back and looked at the season stats that from this season. Sid, you had 172 assists to like 70 turnovers. That's insane.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, Sid had 172 assists.
Sid was like a healthy version of Grant Gibbs.
Yeah. Look at Allie.
Oh man. Poor Allie.
You guys can't hear the audio. You can't hear the audio, but I'm yelling, "Get up, Allie!"
Poor Allie.
This was probably a matchup she liked too, because Gustafson was a really physical player, and Allie did not mind that kind of stuff at all.
Oh, one of Sid's turnovers.
As we're talking about my assisted turnover ratio.
I think you were 6-2 this game.
Yeah, she had 6 assists.
And when you see this fourth quarter, you're definitely gonna be like, yeah, I could have played pro. Because you go bananas in the fourth quarter.
The second half, she went bananas. It started with that buzzer beater at the end of the half.
The Alley just knocked Gustafson down right there.
Back-to-back years of the NCAA women's competition.
Well played, but for Gustafson,
Poor Allie getting another foul. Flan going right to the bench.
Probably because he was, again, like I said, we had that 3-post rotation where he wanted to keep him fresh and just be super physical with Gustafson because we knew she was going to play the whole game. I think it's Kylie, right? That just went in. Maybe it's coming in.
Yeah.
Yep, there she is.
Hero, Kylie.
Yeah.
But I do think Kelsey Mitchell, the ability for her to score anywhere on the court, her 3-point shot, that's the
So did you come into college thinking you would eventually be a point guard, or
I literally think that.
And her teammates make
No. I mean, I was in high school, but that's just like, it's so different. When you're in high school, you're just basically like popping the ball up and then you're just passing. And no one's like up in your face. And no, I definitely didn't think that was going to happen.
The Big Ten has never had a shortage of offense. Maybe defense, but never a shortage of offense.
Sydney played a lot of different positions except maybe the post, right, Sid? So she played on the wing, she was the 4, she played point, but Sydney, we tried to get the ball in Sydney's hands. So we're like, well, we don't really have a point guard, but we always talk about point guard by committee or having just good ball handlers across the board. But Sydney was a good decision maker, so she was the best option at the point guard position for us this year.
Mm-hmm. This is one of the rare moments. This is one of the rare moments where she's not on the floor either, because I remember she used to be.
She's probably at the scores table by now.
Seriously. She checked out, grabbed a swig, and headed back to the store.
Yeah. Flan's like, "Are you ready?" And she's like, "Mm-hmm."
So many games all available on the app. So you will not miss a moment. You will not miss a
Yeah,
moment.
that's weird. I didn't even notice that you went off the floor. But maybe I did because Temmie kind of played a little bit of the point, I guess. Or
Yeah, I always liked when Liv or Temmie were on the court with me when I was playing point, though, because if, like, some little fast guard was on me, I'd be like, okay, you guys bring it up. I'm not trying to dribble against them. And then go back and get the ball.
Yeah, Audrey would have been mad if I made her watch this game again.
Just to tell you, Sydney averaged 38.4 minutes a game that year and was among the top 5 in the country. Jalen was 36.3 and Audrey was 35.9. All were top 10.
I remember, some of that is like seriously inflated from that Drake 4 overtime game where none of you sat, but
we led the country in overtime games that year. There were 7 of them.
About those? No. We played 6 total, so there was a quadruple overtime with Drake, and we played 2 double overtimes, and there was like 3 overtimes.
Yeah.
But
why?
We talked about this team being really hard to beat. Like, we were really hard to beat.
Like, we definitely should have lost some of those overtime games, for sure.
Come on. Sid.
Anyway, isn't that good that we figured out how to win?
The margin of victory that year was like, what was it? Do you remember, Glenn?
It was 2.3 points difference.
Yes.
9.7 to 67.4.
I mean, think about that.
For an NCAA tournament team, that's absurd.
We were tough. We were really tough to beat.
Yeah. That's usually
one of the overtime games. We lost the St. John's.
It all started with our point guard.
Yeah.
Remember one of those overtimes you outscored Seton Hall 17-0.
Oh, that's right.
I remember that one. I think that one's on the website too.
Was it OT or double OT?
It was
OT.
overtime. 1 OT.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Well, first of all, you guys blew like a 15-point lead. That's how it got to overtime.
Right.
Yeah, and then when you got to overtime, you outscored them 17-0. So it was like you just wanted to mess.
Yeah, we just want to make it interesting, you know.
Yeah.
You led that game 24-20 at the end of the first quarter.
Oh, this
24-4. 24-4. Excuse me.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh, Jalen, Jesus.
I love that play. What Jalen gets this deflection, and then she turns on the Jets and just beats everybody down the floor. And of course, Sydney sees her.
Yeah.
And puts a pass on point.
I'm just waiting for the part where Jalen flexes after she gets an and one. Favorite part of the entire game.
What a finish.
How?
Sid, you had that finish at the end of the. We'll see at the end of the quarter. That reverse. The reverse. That was sweet.
I don't know how that went in.
Sydney, you were always good in the NCAA tournament. I think UCLA might have been the only team that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, what about the game?
Wait a second.
UCLA might have been the only team that held you down in the NCAA tournament. I think Toledo and Oregon State couldn't.
Yeah.
And then this game you went nuts too. Did you like playing in big games? Did it change? Was your mindset any different or?
I feel like it wasn't different. Like I didn't go into the game any different, but I feel like subconsciously maybe, yeah. Like I knew that like you can't. I think in my head I was like, Kaylee, you can't suck. Like this team's good. You can't play bad.
You can't suck. Whatever you do, don't suck today.
Yeah.
That's the key. Don't suck. Yeah, Glenn will tell you though. Like I was like in his ear saying Jalen was going to get WNBA. It looks like throughout this season. I think it was after that Northern Iowa game was the first time. But after this one, like while this one was going on, I started tweeting it. Just like I was super confident in myself at that point.
It just looks so effortless. Like everything she does is so easy. Like she just step back three. Oh, easy. That's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch a lot of games this year, Sid, at all?
I'm trying to think. Yes, I watched. Yeah, I did.
What did you see? From what you saw, what do you think was the major difference for her going to another level for her senior year?
I feel like for her it was always mental. Like I feel like she never thought she had to score, like had to shoot. And I think her senior year, she's like, okay, like I need to score. My team needs me. I need to score 20-plus points a game.
Yeah. Casual 20.
Yeah.
43.
You could have easily been this player for sophomore year. Easily. I think she just like, I don't be that player.
I totally agree.
Which means double team. Wouldn't be surprised if the high-low defender came down and doubled, forced the high-low shot. Let's see if the Blue Jays.
Yeah, are there certain kids you feel like comfortable leaving here? Because it looks like you guys are.
Yes.
Trying to like. I don't know, not really fronting the post, but you're also crowding entry points.
Well, they run the triangle offense. Obviously, they were. It fits their personnel, and obviously having Gustafson, so they run the triangle offense. Look at Allie. So they're 4 players. We would basically sag off of them from the elbow-ish area or 15 feet because we were daring them to shoot it. Because now we were basically sitting in the lap of Gustafson, and it made this spacing kind of tight.
Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't have good spacing, and we knew that we could just crowd Gustafson and dare them to shoot it. They're 4 players to shoot it.
Mm-hmm. What are they looking at?
Flan, the numbers guy. We're playing percentages.
For sure.
Sometimes it goes well, and sometimes it doesn't.
Or 20 points and have their game high.
Right. It's like, are we supposed to guard her?
I remember there's always like some quarters that are super out of whack because a player you don't expect to kill you starts going on.
Every time. We're the slump busters. We are the slump busters.
Yeah.
They know but when they play Creighton, it's Creighton week. I think when opponents are saying it's Creighton week, I better go shoot on the gun because they're not going to guard me.
Sure.
Literally though, look at Allie.
Are they checking Allie's little elbow here? Is that
force off?
I don't know.
I can just hear my coach in the back of my head.
It seems pretty tame for Allie, so I don't think that would be.
Yeah.
For moments like that. But you were talking about the coaches. You want to explain why these coaches are very close?
Because just like there was a collision on the court, there was also a collision in the streets of Chicago.
Tell me about it, Tiff.
Yeah, that's nothing. I mean, that was like it hurts, but it's not.
Like, right in the face.
That's just Allie, like, being Allie.
Oh, her elbows though are so sharp.
Allie is strong.
Oh, just yeah, but she doesn't. She just like comes out of nowhere, and yeah, I always hated when she was on the opposite team in practice because she was probably gonna get the offense.
Yeah.
And you guys don't call fouls in practice either, so it's even harder.
It's not great. It's not consistent.
Oh, the irony.
Yeah, whose fault is that? Who
Right.
were supposed
Hey,
who was supposed to
listen.
call fouls?
I always had a whistle on me, Sid. Okay, you better talk to Carly and Chevy.
I think what she's saying is you didn't blow it.
Yeah, that's probably it, because I was probably yelling at someone to get in the gap. Oh, man.
What was the game plan for Doyle? Like that? Let's just stick Jalen on her and shut her down, basically, or what happened?
Well, Sid, didn't you start on her?
I think I did.
Yeah. So the idea with Doyle is, you know, she's good. She was an okay 3-point shooter. So she was more of a driver who was trying to shoot the pull up or get to the rim. So we wanted to put a longer defender on her. So we put Sid and Jalen were the two primary matchups. Because they were really good at contesting her shots. If she wanted to shoot the pull up, they did a good job of contesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Audrey would have definitely been pissed if you had asked her.
She would have already hung up. There's no doubt. I can remember so many like shooting sessions with like her and Jalen.
Oh my gosh.
Like her and Jalen, and they'll go like 8 for 10 or whatever, and they're like, "Fuck, man, like, really?"
They're like, I suck. I'm like, oh yeah, you 8 for 10. Cool. 8 for 10.
They'll hit like 7 in a row. They'll hit like 7 in a row, miss 2 straight, and just like throw the ball.
Like, I suck at basketball.
I suck.
Matt, you would have made me ask her, first of all.
Well, there's no doubt, but I mean, I'm just saying she would have denied that. Look at Allie just throwing her weight around. She's knocking people over left and right. I swear, I miss like how valuable she was at just like bringing some tenacity to you guys.
Yes.
Because remember when she missed that whole year, and then you bring her back and you guys beat Butler that had smacked you twice, and it's like you just need that physicality down there.
Yes. I think she had 60-something offensive rebounds this year.
Yeah.
Or this season. That season.
Mm-hmm. She's great in ball screens. That's good screens, good hard screens.
And she's really and those offensive rebounds. She was very sneaky. Rebounding is just finding ways to go get the ball, and just be creative.
Well, she was really good at like that Dennis Rodman drill, was like poke, 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 and then like keep it alive and then just grab it.
66, Linda.
Even if her position wasn't great, she could always keep it alive and then eventually get it.
I think Jalen might have a jab 3 here soon.
Pretty good guess. It's her money move.
Boom.
Cash money. When she got that jab step, that was like such a deadly move.
Her shot, I mean, like, I think you're right, Matt. She's like got one of the purest shots ever.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
It's so freaking effortless. It's crazy.
It is insane.
That's the shot we were okay living with.
Okay.
That little, 6-7 footer over her weak shoulder.
Yeah. No, Jalen's one of the, male or female, man or woman, she's one of the purest shooters I've ever seen. It just comes, like, her mechanics are so, like, she repeats her mechanics, first of all. But then, like, if she's on point, it's so smooth. Like, the net won't even move sometimes.
Yeah.
Of Texas or Maine, and then Iowa or Creighton will be set to do battle with UCLA on Monday.
So many great matchups, all available on the app. And if you notice coming out of break, I don't know if you heard it behind, but the Creighton band was playing the Game
Oh,
of
good
Thrones
defense.
theme song.
Yeah, Temmie played really good defense there.
Oh, I was talking about myself. You know, she drove.
Oh,
right
well, sorry. I was watching Tammy.
Well, you didn't give her a 3 though.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Oh man.
if you're on the perimeter, just don't eat a 3. That's all that matters.
Okay, Gonzaga could take it to Stanford. You don't know. Although the Cardinals
We literally did not run anything besides motion this game because we knew that Gustafson wasn't going to leave the paint, and we were going to try to get her away from the basket. And you know, we knew they didn't want to switch screens, so we knew we were going to hold screens and just screen the crap out of him. So we literally did not run a ton of stuff, right, Sid?
I mean, we just ran were just like screens.
Ball screen
like,
stuff too. Yeah.
The Cardinal do an excellent scout. The road to the Frozen Four ices up tomorrow with the 2018 NCAA Hockey Selection Special at noon Eastern on ESPNU and the ESPN app, and also visit ncaa.com, the home for all.
Oh, wow. Tammy missed a free throw?
Right.
I think she shot like 90% her freshman year.
Wow.
Something like that.
73%.
Oh, her freshman year?
Her freshman year, she was 73.
Oh, wow. Never mind.
43 of 59.
Double-double of her career. Oh, triple double. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
No, Sabrina is impressive. Even Cal, they lost, and they competed without Christina Nigwe. So
Great read, Sid.
Woo!
Boom, that bump read.
Sydney Lamberty dripping with finesse.
Oh,
You wanted that one, right? You wanted that one, right?
Defense, deny. Timeout. Oh, wait, no.
Right back. As soon as she threw it, she called for it right back, too.
Maybe 3-5-point swing.
That's Sydney always like 1 or 2 steps ahead. That's how you have that assist to turnover ratio like it was.
So now we go small, and so they decided they were going to put Gustafson on Audrey.
That's oh.
Yeah. Again, going back to yeah.
Whoops.
But you see how their spacing's not great because they got double bid.
You guys are clogging that thing all up.
Yes, and we were willing. Great help defense.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was going in.
Yeah.
And even though they've been dropping threes, Jim Flannery says, look, this is a year that we are actually not as reliant upon the 3 ball as we have been in years past.
And he talks about playing in the Big East, you'll play against a team that will.
Yeah, you guys are definitely. Oh, there's another one.
We were super scrappy.
Seriously.
They found their groove, and this is
But yeah, you had all 5 kids on that possession. You had all 5 kids on one side of the lane line, basically.
That's more likely for a win for them.
What do you say, Sid?
I don't know. But I don't think you told me what to run.
Yeah, because you said motion, right? Did you just do this?
You just like, we're running motion again.
Actually won it back in 2004. 4th NCAA tournament under his watch. And again, this is a team that just snuck in.
Audrey's like, I'm not shooting anymore.
The debatable 8. That was something new that the NCAA committee did.
Audrey caught that off of a little elevator screen and didn't want to shoot it. She's like, no, I've missed too much already.
Where you are sitting, and we talked with the Creighton staff, where you're just sitting and waiting and wondering. That's more than a 24.
Yeah, this was such a good game.
The Selection Monday show came about to figure out if you're going to make it or
I don't know. I think the biggest lead for either team was single digits. I don't think anybody got up terribly big.
We led for 30 minutes of the game.
We led by 9. They led by 3.
Yeah. That's how I remember it.
The ball bounced their way this year.
Indeed.
Oh, wow. Jeez. That was a fastball.
She couldn't handle it. So 1 point lead.
Kansas City region out in Los Angeles.
Right amount of time, right? right amount of time, we'll see who really steals the momentum going into break, because that could be huge for this game.
Mistake by Temmie. She's still good at that.
Yeah. Yeah, so they switched their matchup and put Gustafson on Temmie, so thinking maybe put her on a freshman. And we harped on Temmie the whole year of having better footwork, so that was really good footwork there, so she could attack closeout.
Mm-hmm. Was it an emphasis to whoever basically was matched up with Gustafson to attack her if they could?
Yeah, especially when we were small, because we're small right now, so she had to take somebody, and we really emphasized, really good footwork on the catch on the perimeter when you had her on you, because she doesn't want to guard away. She's so used to guarding inside and guarding post players, so she wasn't comfortable guarding on the perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
She used to be here. She's still guarding Temmie. So this is a 2-for-1 we had. We got really good at that at 2-for-1s at end of quarters.
Yep.
So that's why Temmie shot that 3. It looked like a bad shot, but our call for that was fire. So when we yelled fire, we knew anybody could shoot it. Whoever had the ball, just shoot it. So you had the green light. So yeah, so we get the ball back here, and you'll see the play by Sid. It's a great contest.
So far, it's come down to the wire. Very competitive. Who can stop Megan Gustafson of Iowa, and who can stop the Creighton Blue Jays?
Great pass by Liv. How'd you get this? I think it's because of your alarms.
Ooh.
I mean, that's just a great end of quarter half. I mean, the clock management was really good. Our clock management was really good this game.
Yeah. That wingspan definitely helped with that one, though. Both to get the ball and to finish it.
Right.
We'll send it back to the studio, and Maria.
So getting that bucket, the end of half, Sid, what does that do for the team's mentality as you go into the locker room?
I think it just, obviously it feels good that you ended the quarter scoring last.
11 points, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc,
and that put us, we were only up by 1 at that point.
That put you up 3, but you were up 1 before it, yes.
Yeah, so I just feel like that looks better when you come out instead of being up by 1. That's like, okay, 3-point lead.
That was an early glimpse at Jalen's mid-range game right there that she used 2 years later.
This is a Creighton Blue Jays team that was one of 4 at-large bids. Jim Flaherty said, look, we just snuck into the tournament, but they are playing very well against a...
Okay.
Kobe!
Kobe, calm down, Kobe. Hey. Okay. Whose dog was that?
6 overtime games this year. 6.
Sorry, I put mine on mute. It's our neighbors.
Oh, Kobe.
Wait a second. He barked at a dog that was barking from Arizona? That's awesome. Zoom bringing puppies together, too.
Oh, gosh. Oh.
What happened?
There's another dog starting to bark. I'm just like, nah, I'm nervous.
They probably heard Kobe. And they're barking back.
Did I just block that? I never blocked shots.
You do on accident.
Basically.
So we ran, oh no we didn't. This is still motion, sorry. I thought we were running hip. Didn't we run hip a little bit, Sid, with Jalen and Audrey?
Yes.
At some point.
I don't know what hip was. There's so many plays.
Hip or whatever was just those two screening for each other basically on the right wing, and you were like the middle.
Oh yeah, I think that's what we were trying to do, but
yeah. I think we go to it eventually here in the second half.
Here's Lamberty back the other way.
And no.
There's the rare Sydney Lamberty fast break right there.
Of Mackenzie Meyer, and Meyer says nope.
Oh yeah, that was hip. That was him right there.
You don't see players make one-handed passes like that either, Sid. That's crazy unique too.
Yeah, I don't think The coaches really loved my one-handed passes.
Different with Sid.
Yeah, you got to coach her different, Si. Come on now.
We're okay with her throwing those one-handed passes. She would throw them like this, like off ball screens. We're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, the alarms. When you have alarms and you can throw them. Only if you have alarms you can throw one-handed passes. Uh-oh. That flare screen.
Yep. Maya knew it too.
Did you see her?
Yep.
She was like this.
Like, yeah, I know you're gonna cuss at me. I got it.
That flare screen out of the triangle.
You know what I call it in those situations? Best frenemies. I got a best frenemy when I play in the WNBA. That's my sister.
Facing issues over here. Here comes Sydney.
It is nice, except when they get buckets on you.
It's also by Bailey.
Not fun at holidays.
That was a weird call to me. Look at my.
Check this out. Beautiful flare screen at the top of the key. Defender is late. Enough.
That was a tough screen for her to get over, though. I don't think that was Maya's fault.
Assassin almost at 40% on the season.
Someone didn't communicate.
Probably. We were probably down helping in the post. That's why, because Gustafson.
Yeah. Yeah, so if Maya's listening, that wasn't her bad.
Norby, the senior out of Forest Lake, Minnesota, averaging just about 3 points a game this afternoon. Norby is already.
But she got pulled anyway. Dang. Rough life.
That's because Creighton relies on the three. She's a post. Sometimes a little neglected on this team, but she's an excellent screener, and that's what the posts do for Creighton to get those threes.
This is that play they always run that we were very prepared for.
Oh, Liv.
Hi, Liv.
You just had
I
probably
swear.
Oh my goodness. Every time.
That's a. Yeah, that's a concussion for sure.
God, she'd make me so nervous. She's crazy.
Yeah, she's insane.
go like limp on the.
Yeah.
It's a good game. 3-point shot versus the NCAA leading scorer. Creighton with the threes. Megan Gustafson of Iowa with the buckets.
Faber just short. Civilian with the rebound. And Creighton did a really good job in adjusting their defense because Gustafson was 5 of 6 in the first quarter. She got off to a hot
Oh,
start.
unlucky.
To 3 shots in the second quarter. That's one of her few touches.
All right.
And it's really on the O boards.
And when they are trying to limit you, I see so many parallels to Gustafson because I played at Stanford, played triangle offense. When they try to limit you, you let your teammates shoot. They shoot great shots, and you get active on the boards like she just did, getting to the free throw line. So many ways that she can affect the game, even when she's not getting touches.
Second in the NCAA in double-doubles. She added another one here this afternoon with 17 points and 13.
Did you guys ever, Matt, did you ever hear the story of the year that we scrimmaged? Was it this year, Sid, that you guys got stuck on the elevator?
Yeah.
Oh, can't hear you, Sid.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
That was in your senior season.
Oh, wait, sorry. I was the one that had it on mute.
Yeah, that's what that button, that ding was.
But was it that year that you guys got stuck in the elevator?
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to think what was in there. It was Bianca.
Oh, basically all the starters. Jalen was in there.
Yeah. Kylie. Yeah, we were all stuck in there. It was for like a good amount of time too.
It was
And we had, I don't think we had any service, so we couldn't text anyone that we were stuck in there.
So we had to.
Were you at their gym or what?
No, we were in our hotel in Des Moines. We stayed in Des Moines, and we were gonna drive over. So of course Flannery is stressing out. So Jenny has to call their Dobo or whatever and ask them if they can move the scrimmage back like an hour at least.
I think we were playing Heads Up in there. That's the game on your phone where you have to describe the winners.
And who was freaking out? Who was like about to pass out? Who was it? Do you
It
remember?
was probably Maya, let's be real, but I don't
Yeah,
remember who
I think it was. Yeah, it might have been Maya and Bianca.
This Iowa Hawkeye team will go to the line.
one of the two.
That was just unbelievable. And there were escalators. Okay, they were like on the second floor.
Yeah, we definitely did not need to take the elevator.
They were on the second floor, which is funnier.
The elevator for the second floor.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
Hey man, you gotta save those basketball player knees there as much as you can, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. We're just saving our
That's
energy.
true.
I get it.
You mentioned she had only reached double figures once a season ago, has 10 double-digit scoring games this year. Currently with 5 points. Lamberty working on Civilian, keeping her dribble.
Here we go. It's about to go on a tear, you guys.
Oh, look at the sit with the
Oh,
screen there.
flex. Okay.
That was not a flex.
That
No.
I mean,
Look at the replay. It was like this. It was like this.
I think there was.
Spin cycle.
She keeps her dribble alive, reads the defense, spins, turns.
Nice. Oh, another one. Different angle.
I'm pretty sure you guys are. I'm pretty sure you guys are undefeated when Sydney screams during the game.
Yeah, I agree. Did she make the free throw? Nice.
That's how you know she's juiced up.
Is the fact that she's kind of been a yo-yo.
Cause you're normally so even keel. Like, do you remember what came over you there? Like, why you were all fired up?
I mean, I'm sure it's like could be possibly my last game. So I feel like that's probably why. I don't know. Everyone also made fun of me for literally never showing emotion. So I feel like I was like, all right, could be last game. Like, show emotion.
Yeah.
You know, in one of Jalen's recent interviews, she actually talks about you showing emotion in this game because it was so outside of your personality on the court. So during the interview, she talks about Sydney getting as excited about this game as she had ever seen.
See, that was on the game we did. So now I have to make sure I post that one first.
Chronology here, Matt. Chronology.
That's what I'm. Now I have to remember this point where Glenn mentioned something that hasn't happened yet.
News on LeBron and the Cavs, and which Sweet 16 teams have impressed you the most. Sports Center at 11 p.m. Eastern on ESPN app and on ESPN.
So many great things happen on the app. Everything, not even so many great things, everything's on the app. Games from the NCAA, men's and women's, NBA action, all sports. You have a question where a game is, just go to the app.
There's Allie again, always around the ball.
Crazy possession.
Today, what teams thus far have impressed you in the tournament?
Ooh, let's go. There's a flex.
Oh,
Little
that's
baby
a
on
flex.
Little baby flex. That possession was crazy.
That's a flex for sure.
Yeah, I think they do it in slow-mo. I think they replay it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
She's like, I'm not flexing.
Definitely a flex at the end. Here we go. Yeah.
I can't see. Her arms are so little.
They could really just get on a bus and ride 4 hours.
See, that play is crazy right there too because it's not like they were giving her the right hand. She had to. Oh my God, she missed a free throw.
To the West Coast, they leave Iowa City. They leave Lincoln.
And they play with everything on the line. And you asked me a great
So
question.
you know about her free throw streak she had this year, right?
So far.
Yes. That was insane.
That's just flat out absurd.
They're sort of like, okay,
I think it goes back to December 8th. So basically from December 8th through the end of her college career, she didn't miss a freaking free throw.
Texas A&M,
Can't even get my mind around it.
There was one,
pretty impressive, and then also Oregon.
it was towards the end of the conference season, but there was the one at home where it
Yeah, against Villanova, where it went in.
bounced off the backboard and went in.
Yeah.
And I was like, after the game, I go, Jalen, your free throw. And she goes, I know. It was like the ugliest free throw, like hit everything on the rim in the backboard.
It like rattled halfway down, then popped out all the way up and out, and then it just dropped, and it
I
dropped
don't
straight
know
in.
That was crazy.
Will face off against the Bruins on Monday.
And Creighton looks to have controlled the tempo so far for most of this game. Now, Megan Gustafson, she's been effective early, but
Now Sid's checking Doyle again.
an answer for her.
Yeah.
Forcing others to step up and shoot.
Yeah, she's only knocked down
Yeah.
2 free throws. She's still without a field goal here in this third quarter.
When you are the NCAA
Sydney, did you have different tactics for guarding different positions from just for yourself, or did you just rely on scouting report in terms of what you wanted to take away?
Yeah, honestly, I just whatever was on the scouting report was what I was gonna do.
Gotcha.
Because typically, I mean, the scouting report was always what they did. I feel like they never did anything different. If they did, then I always talk to Sai and be like, okay, well, she's doing this now. Like, what do I do?
I was like, I don't know, figure it out. I'll watch warm-ups and I'll let you know. No, Sydney, it's funny. I thought of all these S words that describe Sydney as a basketball player.
Oh, gosh.
Steady, solid, simple. But defensively, yeah, she just kept it. She was very disciplined defensively, so she knew how to use her length. She didn't go crazy. She didn't take chances. But she was a sneaky good defender.
Yeah.
Sneaky, see, another S word. And he's like, I'm trying to scream for somebody, no one's using it.
Hello.
Clearly was very difficult to do, and I don't think she did. She will put everyone on notice.
Wasn't your nickname Sloth? Isn't they? I don't know what they called you.
Marissa came up with that.
Oh.
Didn't love it.
No.
Wasn't
Wasn't a fan.
How about this shot? Look at this assist by Sid.
Yeah, the accidental assist, we definitely should have assisted.
That was hilarious. Handles.
I was like, yeah, that was.
It's like how we drew it up.
Yeah, I meant to do that.
Good awareness. I'm like, what are they checking? That was like, there was like 2 seconds on the shot.
Right?
What's Linda saying right here?
No idea.
Talking about box outs, I'm guessing.
Something. I have no idea.
Are they checking to see if she got off the shot clock or what?
Yeah, there was like 2 seconds on the shot clock.
It's not even close.
Yeah, that was the craziest DH I've ever seen. I don't think.
Like,
What a
it goes in before it even hits 0.
Yeah.
Joe goes, I knew you guys were going to win after that shot.
I think Sid just saw a blue jersey and just like poked it at her. Basically.
Like, here, shoot it, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
As a big game doesn't necessarily mean that Iowa wins. So they're playing.
There's Carly biting her pen. She always bites her pen.
Now we're gonna tamper down on everyone
Yeah,
else, hunker down
or
on
she has
everyone
it in her mouth.
Now she'll get going again. We'll see how they manage that defensive. That's versatility on the defense.
I think that's one of the funny things about Sid is when she first got to Creighton, I thought she was going to be more like Mackenzie Fouillon, just that like off guard who can get you a bucket. And then it didn't take long, but I kind of realized she was more like Carly, just a super good playmaker. Obviously, not as many turnovers. Carly's
Better defender. More disciplined.
Oh, what happened there?
Great defense. See, that's why she said was a good defender. She just, tripped him when she needed to.
Yeah, there you go. I don't think
That was a bad call. That was a weak call. I would agree.
That was a really bad call.
I mean, you were chasing. Look at it.
Whenever she had that smile, you had like.
Oh yeah.
I wonder how many refs knew they were wrong whenever she would do that.
Well, I feel like I would never, like, ever talk back to a ref because, like, I mean, that's not going to get you anywhere. So I would just have to laugh about it because I'm like, that was so bad,
warm-up jerseys and shirts that say grit. And so when we talked with Lisa Bruder, what characterized this team this year? She said, absolutely, grit and resiliency.
They also talk about winning, working hard with integrity and no excuses. Work, integrity, no excuses. We'll see if that comes through down to the wire.
Happened.
I think they caught one of the million off-ball screens you guys set was illegal, I guess.
Oh yeah. It was at the top, I think.
Oh, we got Audrey.
Oh. 6 points, 3 fouls.
Now that they're stopping the play, it honestly works towards Iowa's benefit. They set up their offense. They find Gustafson, get good looks.
To that defense.
Forcing an air ball. Wingspan.
get the ball right back. So 12, excuse me.
Hip, Sydney. It
I
is.
got that.
For the
Oh, Jalen, my God. You gotta be kidding me.
That was the screening action we ran with Jalen and Audrey as Sid as passer.
Yeah.
I love that play. It was so simple, but I feel like
Seriously, and we would kill people on it.
Really?
knew how to guard it.
Literally.
How do you guard that though?
Where do you
Right.
think, yeah, where do you think, where's the confusion at? Like, what happens?
I think it's tough when you have a post guarding Audrey.
Okay.
And so they're not used to getting through screens, and then the angles of their screens, look at them work together. Watch Doyle get caught on this next one. Well, no, maybe it's the next one.
Oh, man. Oh, she's mad, too.
Oh, yeah, she got warned.
What even? Oh, I wish they would replay that because I don't even know what happened there.
Yeah,
She
I
went,
mean, it looks
went
like
over
she,
the top of the screen.
Right.
But it causes you to miscommunicate, and then you start, I don't know, you relax a little bit. Like once they pass it back to Sid in the middle of the floor, they relax a little bit, and then they get caught with another screen. So that second, it might not be the first screen, but that second and third like rescreen is really tough because defense relaxes.
Yeah.
And then the kids just make good reads off of it.
By Agnew, if you saw the stat, 8 for 11 from the field. It's been at the rim, mid-range.
Yeah, I think I talked to Carly about that one time, and I wonder if Sid, you agree with this. Like, oh, that's a sloppy turnover. Because I always wondered how, like, Flan's teams always had a habit of kind of getting better as the season went on and playing your best basketball in March. And I think one thing that Carly said was a factor was that you guys run that motion so much that there's just a familiarity that comes with it as the repetitions get, more and the season gets longer, that you guys just start to click eventually because you all know how to play off of each other. Do you feel like that's a big reason why you guys were usually sharper towards the end of the season than you were early on?
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes coaching can be kind of awkward because if it's people that you haven't played with before, like just kind of starting out, like playing again, you have to read each other. You have to feel like, okay, this is how Audrey reads screens, because everyone reads screens differently. Everyone's better at reading different screens. So I feel like you kind of have to know each other and how you're going to read the screens and who would rather come off of one than set one, who's going to cut more. So I feel like it's all just feeling each other out. So towards the end of the season, obviously, you have a better feel for each other and what they tend to do more.
Gotcha.
Doyle, the Illinois native, is a sophomore captain for this team. And what a year she's had. Second team All Big Ten selection, first of her career.
And she's just one of those players that you want to compete with.
2 for 1 here? No?
Oh.
So you guys are playing for 1.
She's one of those players that's
Yeah, we're playing safe now. We have the lead.
Oh.
We're up by 6.
Don't call fire with a 6-point lead.
No. I don't know what the hell we're doing.
I don't either.
Oh, nice screen.
Looks like you're trying
Oh,
to.
reverse layup.
Oh, boy.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
why. When it's keep the ball in Sid's hand.
Yeah, it looks like you guys are trying to space the floor and ISO Sid. Ooh.
Yeah, she's underneath the rim.
There's Audrey, the block machine.
She was always so good at blocking shots.
Yeah, she was.
We've turned it all the way up here in Cali.
I think we give up a 2 here because we were okay with it.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Yep. I mean,
That was definitely a.
we were okay with that, but maybe not at the end of the quarter.
Probably not that exact one.
Maybe not at the end of quarter.
Yeah, that was a non-shooter though. You can tell by the release.
But that's not stopping them from getting buckets.
8 of 9 was Hobbs from 3-point.
Oh, Bumuke's on this call?
That's got to be the performance of the
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
And Jalen Agnew is following.
I do.
4 of 5.
Tiffany Green, the other one, the play-by-play, was on the call the first year in the Big East. She knew us. So I'm a little surprised by some of the things, but it's okay.
A rare miss
Same.
on the offensive end, and we've seen her
18-0 and leading after 3. You want to know why?
in the first quarter, and then 10
Why?
points in the
Good
last
point guard
2
play.
periods.
Oh, well.
Oh, God. Oh,
Oh, every time we say something.
good time.
Every time I
Rolling-
go Sydney hype man.
rolling her,
something like
she's
that
rolling her uniform sleeves up.
happens.
Oh, Lord.
I think we've done that for both of her turnovers.
That's your 2 turnovers, right? That was your second one?
Yeah.
We were gassing her up, and then both the turnovers happened.
Yeah.
Well, now we know we can speak freely because there's no more.
Gustafson's doing work. She wants the ball inside.
And if I remember right, I think she has like 9 straight points at some point in this fourth quarter.
Yes, I think so.
Like, just takes over the game.
So you have to sag in.
The fall away jumper to her left was pretty sick.
Mm.
Nice.
Audrey got one to go.
Audrey!
It's a big one. She might have hung in there actually.
Yeah.
Like, no, relax. You'll get a big one to go. Don't leave yet.
It's just crazy because she still has 9 points. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh boy.
She shot poorly, but she finished with 12 points in the game.
No, I know. That's just Audrey though. She would have been mad.
yeah.
Now here is what
Like I said, her and Jalen had absurd expectations for
stopping the 3-point shot. That's Iowa's
their
biggest
shots.
challenge.
They expected all of them to go
Iowa's
in.
biggest strength, right here in isolation, going to her strong hand, getting emotional because they're down and they need a push.
Uh-oh.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I thought that was
I just
I know.
panicked.
I keep forgetting this is like recorded. And I was like, wait, what happened?
I was like, just had a heart attack. Slight heart attack.
That happened on the rewatch for the Syracuse game too. It like started buffering, but it wasn't the YouTube. It was the actual broadcast. Good old ESPN3. Yeah, man, this is a special group. I mean, honestly, those 3, first of all, like Sid, Jalen, Audrey, just honestly probably could have like you seriously could have played in any era and won in any era. That's
Hard to defend because everyone's moving and everyone is a shooter.
how good and how versatile you. Jesus, just toss that thing out of there.
Every time.
Rejected by Faber. She got a piece of that one, swatting it.
I think this year we averaged quite a bit of blocks too with Audrey, Jalen, and I think Sadie had some too.
I think Audrey finished as the all-time leader in school history.
Yeah, she surpassed Sarah Nelson, right?
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
I mean, Audrey had long arms too.
Total blocks that year were 117 in 32 games.
Yeah, that's a lot for CU.
That was the saying. As Doyle puts it up, low on the shot clock, no good. You know, when you watch this Creighton team, just a very steady offense. I mean, among the top 25 in several statistical categories, and among those leaders, they do a great job at three-point percentage, three-pointers made, free throws.
Great rebounding position by Allie here. She's sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
Sid too. It's a great position.
She seriously doesn't move when she screens somebody. She just is a wall.
Yeah, she had to force up the shot and she missed, but she almost pulled a James Harden with the stutter step push off. That would be in her game.
The possum.
Man,
She is crazy.
I seriously wonder. I'm gonna go back like one of these days on Synergy and watch all her games and see how many times she fell.
Probably at least every game. Probably at least once every game.
oh, for sure.
Motion offense. One option was denied, but it's
Ah,
still
good
moves to the
look.
backside.
And left wide open is Audrey Faber. She had a good look, just couldn't connect. Civilian working on that right side, trying to get it down to
Sid, you said thinking back about this this game and this team kind of made you a little bit emotional. Do you know why? Like, what did you like best about this group?
I mean, I feel like this was probably the closest I ever was with any of my teammates on like any team I've ever played on.
Really? Nice.
I mean, this is just like the end of our season, senior year. I don't know. And it was such a good game, like such a good feel-good game. Like, there was never a time in the game that I felt like sometimes there's those games where you win, but you don't feel like it was a good win. Like, this was a good win. I don't know. And it was a good team win.
Yeah.
And I never felt like I always felt good during this game, the entire game. Like I never felt worried, you know.
Yes.
I don't know. It's just weird.
And it's weird. It's weird watching a game from 2 years ago. Like, wow. That was, like, it's just so strange how much life has changed and how, I mean, I don't even see any of these girls anymore. Life's just so different.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that, too, is also why I'm like, oh, this is kind of sad. And I feel like in the moment, you don't realize, like, this is going to end and you're never going to play with these people again.
Yeah. Is that why it kind of, jeez.
Woo, she's going out. This is her tear, that fall away jumper to her left.
What was that?
I don't know.
She blacked out. This is when Sid blacks out and just goes on a tear.
I mean, going to her left, too. Like, that's.
I know. She's like, well, shot clock's winding down. Might as well just toss this up, see what happens. Here we go. 2, 1. I mean, barely.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah.
Why didn't they review that one?
I don't know. They were probably tired of reviewing stuff.
Oh, there she goes again. I think she had a career high against this. It's okay. Those tough those are better than easy layups for Gustafson, right?
Mm.
Yep.
I think, isn't her, Hannah Stewart, isn't her sister going to Nebraska?
Yeah, Annika.
Yeah. Oh. That's not a foul? Okay.
So it's win-win for all of us.
Jalen's doing that laughing thing that Sid does.
Yeah, that's Jalen's passive aggressive. Really?
9 Eastern.
Or the app.
There's always options. Also, another Pac-12 team and Arizona State will likely face Texas if they
Sydney in the
Post
post.
up. Another flex.
Yeah, she's just going bananas now.
Is that 6 straight points or 8?
That's 7.
7. Yeah, that post-up play we put in for Sid when she has a smaller defender on her, we would run that post-up. You were in the inbounder, right, Sid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Free throws.
Both she and Jalen Agnew have now combined for 40 points.
Ow.
Like,
Ow.
Stewart kissing it off the backboard. Well, that was a big shot there from Stewart. If you're going to try to come back in this one, you've got to be able to convert on the offense.
Just remember, every time you say how, that's exactly what Iowa was saying about you.
True.
that is true.
Keeping her dribble.
Yep.
Someone who will do it by any means necessary.
Oh,
Oh.
Jeez.
gosh. That could have been 2
That is
summers.
a foul.
I know.
Here come the Hawkeyes.
Look at Allie not giving up an inch there. Like, she just, like, walls up and shoves her out. Look at that.
They go back to Stewart.
Gustafson is, like, wearing down, I think, because she couldn't move Allie at all.
Right.
The Blue Jays operating in the half court.
Oh.
Trying to get Sydney Lamberty the ball. But nice counter read by Jalen Agnew.
Uh-oh. She's down.
Here. Oh, here comes.
She likes this match. Oh.
Oh, dang, I thought that was the.
Sydney was like, get out of the way, I got this one.
In that instance, when you realize everyone has cleared out, instead Alexis Civilian should have forced her to the left, where her help defense is. Instead, she fouled.
Oh,
Jalen's all over the place.
I know.
Running
she's working so hard right now.
Especially with
Doyle hates her life right now.
Ooh, nice pass.
Oh. Ah.
I specifically remember whenever that would happen to Allie, she would literally run by and be like, "Sorry, Sid." I'm like, "It's okay."
Everyone is moving hard to defend for 20 or so seconds.
Sweet Allie. Good defense.
Yep.
Took away that right shoulder.
Yeah, Audrey, that's no way that's not off you.
And stays with the Hawkeyes. They've got a fresh shot clock and 2:30 to go.
That was a bad call.
Oh, it's
Ooh.
definitely off of her.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
totally
for sure. I remember seeing that live. I was like, no.
Not sure.
Looks like the 50-50 ball
It was
almost
50-50.
gone, yeah.
Good D by Sid. Oh, what?
Okay.
Charlie Moans with
They
the
call
Does
that.
Allie, does Allie have 8 fouls now? How many fouls does she have?
I don't know. She's.
It's an
Oh,
unlimited.
she's still in the game.
with the personal. That's her fourth.
Oh, she got one left to give.
Trusting the game plan, Creighton only has 2 fouls as opposed to Iowa's 4. So they can foul if necessary down the stretch.
4 fouls, 3 rebounds, 17 minutes, 4 points. That's Allie.
Pauley Pavilion, a chance to move on and play UCLA. The winner from this site will go on to Kansas.
She's not letting her get on that block.
Ooh.
Oh,
What
Aaron.
on earth was that?
Overall seed in the bracket is Mississippi State.
Yeah, that's that. Those are those Sydney. That's that Sydney Wigspan again.
Oh, for
You
sure.
can't get it into the post.
Sydney
Can't get it into the post over the alarms.
You're right. She's like,
Might as well just throw it out of bounds.
And they were trying to get Megan Gustafson the ball.
I think there was another bucket coming for Sid, if I'm not
Have to
mistaken.
have a shooter feeding her the ball.
right-hand
Shot
drive?
from Carly Bones.
How do you guys remember this stuff?
clear side drive
It
to
was
right
the
hand.
fourth because you owned the fourth quarter. I remember that.
Yeah, she's going to fill behind drive right here.
Oh yeah, there it is. Woo!
Crawled right in there. Nice.
Just going over the National Player of the
He's
Year.
made him call two. Well, how many times have you made him call now, Sid? I get a little excited off the bench here, and you know me, don't show a lot of emotion.
Seriously.
For the senior.
And that was what
But I felt like
Creighton does
that might have been
as a bread
icing
and butter.
right
They
there.
do it in
That's what I love most about Jalen's when Jalen got the record, broke Connie's record, because Linda freaks out on the bench. She never used to freak out on
I
the bench.
did.
Really?
It was pretty. It was awesome. That senior day was nuts.
That was a crazy senior.
It was absolutely like I felt like I was in a movie.
Mm-hmm. It was Hollywood for sure.
For sure.
We're talking about X factors.
Because we were,
Steady
she
under
just,
pressure,
she had so
not
many
necessarily
opportunities, and then we
shooting,
friend,
but when the big
just in her
shots
motion, and then we had to run a play for her to get it, and so she made it off a play, and so we were giving her crap about that.
Mhm.
Third point.
Need a stop if you're Iowa. Need a good possession if you're Creighton.
Jalen Agnew posting up on Meyer.
It's Allie again.
Meyer, who has 4 fouls.
This is huge play. Huge.
Yep. Big time.
That's the thing though, like Allie did those little things that
Yeah.
were
So
bad.
Right.
I think if like a normal fan was watching, they wouldn't notice.
They wouldn't appreciate her value. Yep.
Yeah.
We just had all the we just had all the pieces. I mean, that was a huge play. An extra possession, free throws, and Meyer's 5th foul.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, not everything gets logged statistically that she does, but I mean, ball screens, post defense, those offensive boards.
Yeah, her screen assists. We talk about screen assists, and I mean, she would get, you know, shots for kids, and again, you don't see obviously screen assists in the stat sheet, but we you know, as coaches keep track of that.
And she was a post player who could hit free throws, so you can keep her in at the end of the game for rebounding.
Yep. Free throws and rebounding.
We are definitely on upset watch. Under a minute to go. And
Yeah,
Creighton
super
has
valuable.
cool, calm, collected from the tip. You would have thought they were probably the 6th seed.
Jim Flannery said this team,
So we knew
they just do what they do.
we knew exactly what they were going to run
Although they had some
because they run this play a lot.
This ATO.
Do you remember, Sid? It's just a play they run a lot, and yeah, the right-hand drive, fill screen. We had that scouted big time, obviously.
Yeah, Jalen swatted the heck out of that. Woo!
Sydney with blazing speed.
Yeah. Sydney just dropped a WNBA draft pick.
Right hand hezzy.
Look at think about the last minute. You score over Gustafson, National Player of the Year, WNBA draft pick, and then you leave Doyle in the dust. Like, and you don't think you could have played professionally? Get on my face.
No.
Come on.
Come on, Sid.
Come
If
on.
we would have watched any other game.
Please.
We've already seen some 11 seeds up.
That's why I didn't even like that's that funny that year because you and Audrey. The reason I never asked you guys a whole lot about playing professionally is because you flat out stated from the jump, you're like, I don't want to play professionally. Okay. Don't need to worry about asking then.
Plan literally pulled me aside and was like, okay, I have to ask. I think I already know the answer, but I have to ask because I would feel so bad if I wasn't right. Like, you don't want to go play more, do you? And I was like, no, I am so done. Like, this is it for me. He's like, oh, okay, good. Okay, good.
Twos versus threes. Megan Gustafson.
Bobby, come here.
She has the ball right now, leading scorer in the NCAA.
Is this one of your favorite games ever, Sid? Like when you look back on your career? I mean, it's probably pretty easy because it's the closest to the end, but I don't know. If you can think about all the memorable, great performances and good games and things like that went out of the wire like this one, where does this one stack up for you?
It would either be this one or my freshman year when we played Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
And
Right.
we had that, yeah, that was a crazy game. And I think that was like early. That was before even conference play started.
Yeah, that was like around Christmas time or whatever.
Yeah. I
We
think
had,
probably that.
we had the game-winning layup on the Archidiakono, a fake dribble handoff, right?
Yep, right hand hezzy.
Yeah.
Weird. Oh,
They bit so hard on that too. Like the whole defense went with the fake, and you had all day.
But it looks like it's actually. Let's see here.
Let's see. It's both Doyle and Elger going for it.
We could live.
I know.
From that angle, it's really
Linda, with the, like, obviously, you have to dig further in the memory bank as a player and a coach. So, where's this one rank for you?
It's. I mean, it's probably top. I can't even think of the second one. Like, this is probably up there. Like, I just think how we got there too was just the season we had and leading up to it. The body of work we did during the season, and like we said, like we had mentioned, all those overtime games we played, that year was crazy. And then to be in the debatable 8, I mean, holy cow!
Yeah.
Just the emotions behind the season, and just the work that they did, that the players did, and to get there was awesome. But then to go to LA to play Iowa, where there's so much history behind that, it just made it so much, more fun and even more special because of just how the whole season was.
How stressful was that?
Oh my! Don't even. You know what? I'm gonna go get my. If we're gonna talk about that, I'm gonna go get my bottle of bourbon right now. Because the coaches. I mean, when we were in the lounge and all the coaches were so stressed out those 2 days, and the coaches were sitting in the back, and I think Jalen said to you guys, she was like, "Hey, you guys, look at the coaches; they're so pissed." Before it was a selection Monday because we were so stressed out. Yeah, it was crazy.
Are they still doing that? Because that was absurd.
Yes, they did do it this year. They had it planned, and it's possible we would have gone through it again this year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was not the most fun thing ever. So
That was to throw up the whole time.
And we were the last team picked.
Yeah.
Selected, the last, 4.
Of course we would be.
It was the second time we were the last team announced.
Unbelievable.
Back in 2013, we were the last team announced too.
All I remember about that was I actually went to Chicago for the Big East tournament that year, and I got so sick, so I couldn't leave my hotel room because I just had this awful stomach bug. And so you guys played Marquette, and I just watched it from my hotel room. So I flew all the way to Chicago to watch you guys play, and then I got too sick to do it. And then so you guys lost to Marquette, and then Linda and Carly and are all freaking out, are we gonna make it? Are we done? And so I just I had so much time in my hotel room, so I just went through all these teams that basically were on the bubble with you guys, and I was like, all right, here's who needs to win out and not losing the conference tournament and all that kind of thing. And by the time we got to selection Monday, I don't know if Linda, you remember this or not, but I was like, they're in. Literally everything that I put on the checklist that needed to happen happened. Not one thing deviated. No one got upset. No one jumped you. And I was like, I'm pretty sure they're in. They're probably going to. So when you guys were sweating, it was kind of funny to see how stressed out you guys were about it because I was very confident you had a good enough wrestling.
Matt, that's your MO. You always are over optimistic, and I try to balance you out.
Yeah, I'm over optimistic but correct because Jalen got drafted. You guys made the field, and boom,
boom,
boom.
Ooh, I think it could be Lamberty. Her handle was on the ball a little bit longer, but who knows?
I think this was the year that every Big East team won their first round game too. You guys were like the last ones.
Yep.
Everybody was 3-0, and then you guys were the ones who didn't have to. We were trying not to mess it up.
Yep.
For Creighton and the Blue Jays retain possession. So the ball stands on the court with 19.1 seconds to go.
Everyone on the court for Creighton is a decent free throw shooter.
Oh boy.
Blue Jays led the Big East.
That's a smart point guard right there. Don't force it. Call a timeout. You got 3 left.
I think Flannery called it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I called it right up.
After like I was not calling that.
That's super stressful, though. You can either throw a bad pass, take a 5-second call, or what. You know,
but they're big-time performers.
Look at Jalen. Look at Jalen. They were like wrestling.
Seriously.
Civilian called for the foul, and that's really unfortunate for Iowa. Not only is it her 5th personal foul, but also because it seemed like Creighton didn't have anywhere to go, and they were going to get that 5-second call.
Very unfortunate. And I think Alexis tried to plead her case.
Get him, Kobe. Get him.
Oh. Kobe. Why? Huh?
Why?
Get him, Kobe.
Well, at least it's towards the end, right? Come here.
Correction.
He had to make himself known. It's all right.
Kobe, come here.
And scoring from everywhere on the floor. Cool, calm, collected, reading the defense. Those two have really paced the game.
Oops. Sydney doesn't know who she's guarding.
She wasn't a shooter. I was just helping.
The time down here for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Nice.
Doyle lets it fly.
Oh, she stepped out of bounds.
I think you got the game in hand. You don't have to worry about that one, Linda.
Kobe. What'd you think about that arena, Sid?
It was nice, but it was huge. And we didn't have that many fans, to be real.
So it makes you appreciate.
You know what that arena is, right?
Yes.
In LA.
Yeah, you guys made a history on a few historic places. At Summit Court, Poly Pavilion. That's the key to NCAA tournament success. Go to a legendary place. And the celebration ensues.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I do appreciate you guys hopping on. I know it's like a little bit of a time-consuming thing, but I don't take for granted that you guys have better things to do with your time. But I hope you guys had some fun watching it and getting to relive some of your best moments, even though Sid still remains modest about her skills. I still give the Big East shit for not putting you on the All-League team that year, so they'll never live it down. Yeah. But I appreciate you guys hopping on. Thanks a lot. Stay safe, and we'll be in touch for sure.
When is this getting? What are you doing with this stuff now? And when is it aired?
Bye, Linda.